how can we embrace the stillness that some of us might crave in January? Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Mand, and today I kind of wanted to cover a topic. I feel like Mondays seem to be the day that I just want to kind of sit down and chat more so with you. And so we'll see how this goes, but this is all about, like, I made a post on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, go follow me over there. Anyway, not the point. The point is how a lot of us seem to crave that stillness in January, the not having to rush ahead. And I made a video last week on January overwhelm, where like January genuinely feels like a month where I need to have everything together to move forward in the year, because if I don't have January set up well, then the rest of my year is just going to shit and it'll be just no good. And you're just clearly not motivated, or you're just not bothered about being put together or organized for the year ahead. And like, I just don't believe in that. I just don't think that that is even possible or feasible. And I have realized that I'm very much a seasonal being, right? So I definitely move through the seasons so I can see how my energy feels. And again, I could go into so many different topics. Sometimes my brain has so many different things that I would love to discuss, but especially as women, we go through different cycles, right? And it's something that I've had a lot of interest in the last couple of years, on how women have so many days of a cycle. Is it 28 days is kind of average. And so we move through the seasons over 28 days. So it's not just even on a calendar seasonal base that we move, but also biology wise, that's the word, or biological, that we move through. So obviously we have our different phases as women. So we have like the luteal, follicular, is that how you pronounce it? Again, I'm not an expert in that, so I just have an interest. And I've noticed that, again, taking time to kind of just tune into myself and to see how I'm feeling as I'm moving throughout, whether it be the day, the week, the month, and the year. And so we won't talk about 2025. That's back there. We're moving this way. And I've noticed myself that I want to embrace more stillness and more present moments. And that's where like glimmers come into it. Again, I'll cover that in another video. We'll have so many videos. We'll have so many discussions this year. And so I want this to be like, first of all, an open space where everybody is allowed to discuss how they feel and maybe how you view things. And I just want to say, can we be respectful in everybody's opinion? If you don't agree with mine, that's totally fine. If these kind of videos aren't your thing, that's totally fine. Feel free to click off or wait till the next video that does appeal to you. No hard feelings, absolutely not. Again, I just want this to be like an open, safe place for everyone to discuss openly how you view things, right? And there's no judgment here, right? I definitely am of the belief that everybody is allowed to have their own opinions. But anyway, getting back on topic. And how, like, the 1st of January can be so intense, because we feel like, and I know I've discussed this, but I do feel like it's so important to retouch on this. You have to have all your goals together. You have to have everything organized. You have to have your gym membership renewed, if that's your thing. You know, you need to clean up your diet now. You need to have the whole house gutted and cleaned, all the Christmas decorations gone. Like, I mean, literally a clean slate. Realistic? No. Society pressure? Yes. Okay, so we have this whole stigma then around the fact that if you don't have these things done, you're unmotivated and you're lazy, and do you even want to change? What if you don't want to change? What if you like the way certain things are? You don't have to do any of those things. I think we really need that big reminder, is that we do not have to do anything that is not in alignment. Maybe some of you don't like that term. use whatever term you want. Okay, this is just how I explain. That's in alignment with you. Okay, I don't believe that we're lazy because we don't want to go out and run a 5K the 1st of January. Just like, really, no, thank you. I also don't particularly like the gym. I'll just say that as it is. I don't really like it. I've tried it a couple of times. It just, no. But I like yoga. It's much softer movements. I like walking. I like swimming. So I find the things that I like over the things that I feel like I need to do. So there's that kind of difference between needing and wanting to do. Okay. If you want to set the goals and you want to go to the gym, that's fine. But don't be letting it, because it's the start of the year, get you, right? And so I definitely find myself far more slower moving into 2026, because I definitely feel like last year, January was a very fast paced month. It was one of the first Januaries that, because January is normally a month, right, that kind of drags on and everybody's like, oh my God, it was the longest year of January I've ever had. But I felt like last year just flew by, right? I'm like, wait, what? But I felt like I wasn't present in it. And I want to move through this January far more present. Sorry, Miss Frankie has decided now's the day she's giving a peek in. But how can we embrace the stillness? So being still creates this kind of calm for ourselves, right? It gives us the space to whether gain insight, perspective. Okay, so we might, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything in January unless that's what you want to do. Then definitely go for it. Don't do anything. Read all the books, whatever you want, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but what I find is like I definitely want to embrace a more slower way. So I don't want to rush into my morning. I like to take my time drinking my coffee. I like to play my Switch. This is currently how my routine goes. So I like to play my Switch. I like to just be present and enjoy that, right? And then I'll get ready and I'll have my breakfast and then obviously work and all that stuff then. But it's how I approach the day. Okay, so again, I do want to really reiterate this. You're gonna have bad days. I know. Man, why did you have to? I know. I'm so sorry, but that is the truth. We're gonna have bad days. But that doesn't mean that there's no joy in bad days. Okay. Or bad weeks or bad months. We're gonna have that. And it's just the kind of crap part of life. But I definitely feel for a lot of us to slow down and to listen to ourselves. Because I remember seeing this, like, especially when it comes to your body, if you don't listen to your body, it will make you listen. And how many of us, if we just took the time to take a step back and go, do you know what? I had inclinations that I was meant to slow down, but I didn't. I pushed past it and then I kind of paid the price. I'm just saying, how many of us are guilty of that? Guilty of that myself. So moving through January, I do feel that I'm more mindful of the content that I'm consuming, that it's actually filling my cup, or that it is whether thought provoking, but it's not provoking, or what's the other word? I don't know what's the other word I'm looking for, but as in it's not making me feel bad about myself. I suppose the trigger is maybe what they call it. I don't know. But what I would say is just taking the time to be still. Okay, I did see this as well. I seem to see a lot of things everywhere, but that we're a society now that's not used to being bored. And I know maybe some of you are going to be like, but Amanda, have been bored, but like we have so many things now that can distract us from that boredom. I mean, doom scrolling seems to come up a lot lately. It's like how to stop the doom scroll, how to this, how to. That can be overwhelming too. There's so much coming at us that I feel like sometimes we need to take a step back. I know I've definitely clocked out of social media where I'm like, I just can't really look into this anymore. And so I'm seeing where I'm feeling drawn. And currently at this moment in time, and I'll touch upon this in another video, is I'm very drawn to my Irish heritage, right? I'm very much into like pagan Ireland and Druids and the different traditions in Ireland that are kind of lost, but not really at the same time. They're kind of making a comeback. So for example, the Bealtaine Festival or the Fire Festival, amazing. I've been there 2 years ago. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The only thing that gets me now is like the price point. Like, it's so expensive to go and experience that now. But that's besides the point. So approaching this year or this month, not even this year, I'm not skipping ahead. I'm taking every month as it comes and every day. That we are not putting that pressure on ourselves to have the goals all ready to go. Maybe you want to play around with the ideas. So, like setting the intentions for the goals that you want to achieve. I kind of like the idea of more intentions more so than goals, because goals, I feel like sometimes we need to tweak them a small bit. And we feel like, it's always about like, I need to lose X amount of weight, or I want to read X amount of books, or I want to cook X amount of healthy meals, whatever may be the case. So it's really on kind of external factors more so than I want to improve on how I view myself, how I talk to myself, or maybe it's a case of I want to expand my knowledge on, I don't know, whatever, or maybe I want to improve my handwriting. Sometimes I want to do that because I feel like I have very bad, not bad handwriting, but it could be clearer. Or it could be, I'd like to try this new hobby. Very, very few of our goals are kind of that based, right? They're more kind of like, I need to change things. Whereas instead of like, I would like to try these things. Am I making sense? I kind of gone a little bit off topic, but I will come back. And so if we create that stillness within our day, and again, it doesn't have to be every day. It can be like maybe you want to take an hour or two at the weekend. Maybe that's when you're able to. Or maybe when it's, the kids are gone to school and you have a bit of time then when they're gone, or in the evening, or maybe when everybody's gone to bed, you kind of stay up an extra hour and you like to dive into all that then. Absolutely. What I would say is create a little sacred space for yourself to create that stillness, right? So I don't want to overcomplicate it for you now. I'm very fortunate and I don't take that for granted. I have a room, or that's my sacred space. Yours might be a bedroom. It could be a corner in the kitchen. It could be the kitchen table. It could be the kitchen table where everybody's off in the sitting room and you get the kitchen table to yourself and you get to lay out your cards and your journals and all the crafty bits of whatever you're into. Doesn't matter. Maybe you're a digital person, out with your tablet or laptop, whatever may be the case. And you start exploring different things. I'm not saying Googling, by the way. I want you to use like a blank canvas and start seeing where that creativity and what thought process kind of comes up for you. And so you'd be amazed the ideas and things that you're like, oh, I never thought of that if I had been busy. So it's all about enjoying moments. Sorry, I feel like I have a hair here on my face. It's all about enjoying moments of pure clarity and stillness and just being present, and that whole being okay with being bored as well. Okay, so we don't need to fill our days with something. Like, we don't need to be consistently busy, right? We don't need to be always motivated to do something. We don't need to be on the go all the time, right? That's not feasible. We need time to rest. And so however rest looks for you, whether it be a meditation, sitting with your cards, and maybe it's drinking a cup of coffee outside. Maybe you've better weather than we do. But just taking the time to breathe and just be okay with sitting with things, not having to take action. You're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, you're not any of the negative things that we tell ourselves, right? This is really just a reminder that being still does not make you lazy or unmotivated. It's about a time, winter is all about like being inside, being in your sacred space, your sacred home, if that's what it is for you, or going to a sacred space. Maybe you have a place that is so special to you that you want to spend time with it, then go do that. You know, maybe it's embracing the books that you wanted to dive in and now you kind of have the time. And if you don't, try and carve out the time. I know easier said than done. I'm well aware of that. But just allowing yourself to embrace this moment of stillness. I mean, I'm looking outside, we have a desperate amount of fog, right? So fog for me, I always like to look at things in a what's it trying to say? Like I can't really see that far. I'm not gonna give feet or meters because I couldn't fucking tell you, I'm not very good at maths. But like it means just putting one step in front of the other and trusting you know the way you're going. And if you don't, well, you keep going anyway. But just take your time, okay? You're not unmotivated, right? Or, maybe you're tired. Maybe January is the time for you to just rest. Take it easy. Do the absolute necessities and then just leave it at that. Leave it at that. So let me know, how are you embracing the stillness of January? Like, how are you moving forward through the month? How are you finding it? Are you feeling the pressure already of having to get out there, having to change yourself, and having to get rid of all the Christmas magic? Because I really do feel like Christmas magic can seep into January and for the rest of the year. We tend to forget that, like, magic isn't just for one day, it's for our whole lives, just as long as we know how to embrace it. Anyway, I will leave that with you. Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're in the world. Remember, stay magical, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.